Namaste everyone and welcome to this session titled QA Strategy for CAT Repeaters. My name is Bhushan Bapat and in the next few minutes I'll be taking you through some very important pointers that are relevant for your preparation strategy. So let's first begin with a very interesting perspective on scores versus percentile for the last 5 years as far as CAT exam is concerned from 2021 till CAT 2025. I'll want you to pause this video and just look at the column for 85th percentile. What are the highest marks ever required in the last 5 years to get that 85th percentile, which is typically the cutoff for each of the sections individually to get a call from Blackies. So you have maximum 15 marks and therefore net you just need to get 5 questions right. Understand this? If you get just 5 questions right out of 22 questions, attempt 5, get them all right, you get 15 marks, you clear the sectional cutoff for quantitative ability. Now this points to two things. One, it might give you a feeling that QA is very tough. 85% of the people are not able to get this score of 15 marks. So that is, yes, one correct perspective probably. But believe me, more than level of difficulty, it's about your ability to select the right questions. And if you look back in retrospect, you will find that you can always find good 7 to 8 questions that would be categorized as easy to moderate level questions, typically what we call as type A questions. So if you can just figure out those 7-8 questions that are very easy, to get 5-6 right, you're already there. If you move to the benchmark of 90 percentile, typically you need to get 6-7 questions right. For 95th percentile, you can have a benchmark of 8 questions right. So if you just attempt 8, get all 8 right. In QA, this is very much possible. A lot of you might question 100% accuracy. In QA, it is pretty much possible that you attempt only 8 questions and get all 8 questions right. And if you want to get that 99th percentile, roughly you need to get net 11 questions correct. So 11 attempt, 11 correct, a score of 33 would fetch you very close to the marks that you would need for a 99 percentile. Now, depending on the current stage of preparation, why is this table important? This is past data. This table is important because you'll be appearing in a lot of mocks right now. And the best way to improve, consolidate and achieve that 99 plus percentile is for you to realize where is it in the spectrum that you currently stand. Are you at 80th percentile or below? Would you want your first target to be at 85th percentile? If you're already scoring consistently around 18 to 20 marks, then what is it that you need to do? Depending on your current status of preparation, your pointers to work on will change accordingly. So first step is to analyze where you stand correctly in terms of your preparation and the scores that you're typically expected to get in the mocks in the next few months. Moving ahead, syllabus completion. This is one of the most common questions in quantitative aptitude, that there are two things. One, there is no syllabus for CAT for any of the 3 sections. And then when you look at the past papers and then try and figure out, okay, these are the things that I need to cover, you broadly come up with 5 areas: arithmetic, algebra, geometry, numbers and modern math. Now, you already know the syllabus. Why is this slide relevant? I'll want you to pinpoint exactly right now what is it that you feel you are done with. Are you done with complete arithmetic from percentage, profit loss, ratios to time and work, average mixture irrigations, anything and everything that deals with arithmetic? Are you done with that? Are you done with algebra? Which stage of preparation you are currently at? Create a matrix based on that, that these are the topics, these are the chapters that I'm yet to cover. And one very common question that gets asked is, sir, can we leave a particular topic? Can we leave a particular chapter? Let's say functions and graph, like permutation and combination. Let's say, can I skip the entire geometry part? I don't like geometry. Some aspirants don't like number theory. Can I completely skip the part on number theory? I have a very interesting counter question to those aspirants. Do you know from which topics will type A questions come? Suppose you decide to skip geometry completely, and there is a very simple, straightforward type A category question from triangles. You will want to skip that because you have left geometry completely and you will miss out on one easy question. Any which ways, out of 22, you are going to get 7-8 easy questions only, unless the paper is very easy. you're expected to get max 8 to 10 questions on easy to moderate level, which are super easy. Just looking at questions, you can solve them. So type A category questions would be around 8 to 10 at least. If you are going to get those 8-10 questions, you don't know which particular topic will they come from, and therefore it's important that you cover the fundamentals of every topic, even to the extent of statistics like median, mean and mode. They have a very interesting relationship when the data is effectively symmetric. So what is that relationship? Is it mean is equal to 3 median minus 2 mode? Is it mode is equal to 3 median minus 2 mean? What is it that the exact relationship is? If you feel that you're not able to recall such relationships, your preparation is not done. Moving ahead, foundation steps. What are the steps that you're expected to take right now? The first part is concept completion. Please do not leave any single topic. There is still sufficient time. We are still in May. There is ample amount of time for you to cover the fundamentals of each and every topic in QA. Please do not leave that at all. Higher degree equations in quadratic, please complete it. Statistics, complete it. Circles, polygons, quadrilaterals, complete it. Remainder theorem and applications with regards to calculations of remainder, please complete it. Do not leave any particular subtopic or concept untouched. Be brutally honest with yourself. A bigger mistake that I find in a lot of aspirants when they're preparing is they tend to fool themselves very quickly and easily, saying that, this is not relevant, I'm not going to do it. This is not something that is my area of interest. Let me not give more time to it because it doesn't give me that kind of a return on investment that I get on, let's say, practicing DLR sets. Please be brutally honest with your preparation, brutally honest with your own self in trying to understand and analyze, this is what I'm not good at and I need to work towards this. I need to put an effort, and that won't be very smooth. That won't be very effortless. You will have to struggle a bit, and it's important that you struggle. Do not be in this belief that it will be a very smooth journey and you will be able to do what you like and you will be able to get a good percentile. No, you will have to overcome that barrier of inertia where you don't want to study a particular chapter or topic, or don't want to practice, or don't want to learn, or you're questioning who will do this much. You will need to overcome that barrier and do better. Then the next part is about the steps. It is extremely important for all three sections, even more so for QA, that testing the problem solving environment. I personally feel quantitative aptitude is more a game of problem solving rather than subject knowledge testing. So the more tests you take, the more analysis that you do, the better is your ability to solve problems, and you learn that skill over a period of time. So once you are done with that, make sure that you revise. A lot of people tend to skip or ignore this part of revision in quants completely. If you have, let's say, completed a chapter on average mixtures allegations 3 months back, there is a very good chance that you might forget basic concepts in terms of the process of mixtures. There might be a direct formula or relationship that you are not able to recall in the actual exam. It is important that you revise before every mock and give some time after every mock to validate whether that revision was helpful, whether you need to revise or rebuild on some of the concepts that you have practiced earlier. So this is the cycle: test, analyze, revise, and then again come back to test. Create a formula book. It cannot be emphasized enough that it's extremely important. For example, if I ask you, if you want to calculate the maximum value of a quadratic expression, so what is the y max that you get? So typically you will say 4ac. Yeah, if you've got this right, perfect. Otherwise, if you're thinking, no, something like 4ac minus b square upon 2a, or whether it was 4a, I'm not very sure. If you're not able to recall it right now in this video, then believe me, what you desperately need is a formula book. Please write down those standard formulas across every chapter. Use this in this part of revision, and believe me, you'll do much better. Then the part on error log. After every mock, when you analyze, make sure that you write down your areas of improvement in terms of first finding the kind of errors that you're doing. Is it a conceptual gap? Is it a silly mistake where you're not reading terms like not, where you're not focusing on given data, you completely ignore given data, you are writing 7 instead of 5, things of that nature. Write down what is it that is creating trouble in terms of getting that accuracy and a good score. Finally, mental stamina. A lot of people tend to forget that you will attempt the QA section after 80 grueling minutes of ERC and ELR in the exam pressure. So while you're preparing, my strong recommendation is build that mental stamina. I'm not saying always have a daily schedule where you're practicing VRC for 40 minutes, then DLR for 40 and then QA. No. What I'm saying essentially is make sure that in one sitting you're sitting for 2 hours or plus. And your ability to stay focused for those 2+ hours is eventually going to help you battle those areas of focus when required during the exam scenario. Moving ahead, a must-do checklist when you appear for CAT this year. Make sure that you're very thorough with all PYQs from CAT 17 to CAT 2025. We have the data for last 9 years CAT papers. Believe me, there is no better source for your preparation in terms of material than actual CAT previous year's questions from 2017 till CAT 2025. And how do you work around them? You not just solve them and get to the correct answer, but it's equally important that you understand the variety or the question type. And if a similar question type comes, what is it that you're going to do? For example, let me give you some standard question types that have repeated many times in the previous year's papers. There have been a lot of questions where you are required to do a whole square. So do you know the method to create a whole square from a given algebraic expression? If not, it's a good wake up call for you to understand how to navigate all the previous year's questions and learn from them. Similarly, there have been a lot of standard questions on races where A beats B by certain meters, B beats C by certain meters, A beats C by certain meters. What is the length of race? There is a direct relationship AB upon A plus B minus C. For people who have really spent a lot of time on these PYQs, it will be a cakewalk for them if a similar question type comes. But for you, you might still struggle with fundamental approach. Remember, there are no extra points for reinventing the wheel. Wheel is already invented. Make sure that you utilize the wheel, apply it so that you run very fast and move ahead of your competition. So fundamentals of all topics I've already shared. It's important that you cover regular test taking. Please do not have a gap of 1.5, 2 months where you're not taking tests at all. The real problem solving skill develops when you actually regularly appear for tests. Regular revision. Please do not skip this part. As I said, it can be a very simple rule. Just before taking any mock, revise. After taking every mock, when you are analyzing, there is also a need for revision. So 2 times revision based on a mock that you are appearing is good enough. Finally, I'll talk about selection strategy. A very important part is not getting stuck on one particular question. So the typical strategy that we recommend is the ABC strategy. A refers to abhi karo. Questions that you will look at. For example, if there is a question on calculating remainder when 7 to the power, let's say 100 is divided by 5. So then I can directly say that I can cancel 7 by 5 and get a remainder of 2 in the numerator. So it will become 2 raised to the power 100 divided by 5. I can further write it as 2 square raised to the power 50 by 5. So that becomes 4 to the power 50 by 5. 4 to the power 50 can be replaced with a remainder of -1. Remember, 4 divided by 5 is -1. -1 to the power even number is 1, and therefore I'll get a remainder of 1. If I get such a question, I know this is my area of strength. I'm very good at number theory. I can just look at a question of remainders and maybe solve it mentally. I'm going to do it then and there itself. It's familiar, it's comfortable, it's something that I'm good at, and I know how to approach. But if there is a question which has a lot of conditions of if, but, what could be the maximum possible range, there could be algebraic equations that are going to get created. I have no idea. I've never seen such a question type before. I'll have to figure out based on the conditions given. I'll think about it. Is it something that I feel that I can do? If not, I'll immediately skip it. Do nothing with it. But if there is a question on geometry which says that a perpendicular from A meets BC at D and then there is a ratio given, I immediately know that I might be able to solve it because I'm good at geometry, but it will require some amount of time because there is a construction involved. I'll immediately mark this question type as B, mark for review and come back later. So I've explained 2 types very clearly. One, I'll look at the question and genuinely be tempted to solve it then and there itself. Typically, the time span for solving such questions will be a minute, less than a minute and a half. Type A. At best 2 minutes. Type B, typically questions of that nature that will take 2.5, 3, maybe a 3.5 minute for you to solve, maybe slightly more than that, but you're sure that you'll be able to solve it. That will be type B. And questions which are very unfamiliar, that you're not aware about, you don't feel very good looking at them, there is too much data, the question length is very high, and therefore you need to spend a lot of time to go through those questions, please skip them. Any which ways, you get a 99 percentile by getting net 11 questions right out of 22. There will always be 5-7 questions. Even if you're a topper, there will always be 5 odd questions that you will want to skip and not attempt in the first go. So net we are left with 15 to 17 doable kind of questions. Among those 15-17, identify the type B and type A and get on with things. Finally, I'll leave you with a quote, and this is important in terms of having that right perspective and the mental frame of mind. Everything that you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. Now think of it from the perspective of getting those better percentiles in the mocks. Think of it from the perspective of you visualizing yourself studying at a top IIM in the country. If you want to study in a campus that inspires you, where your colleagues, everybody else is as good if not better than you, then to be able to reach the other side, you need to get over your fear on this side. Make sure that you strive hard, create a definite routine, and work with a sense of purpose towards making sure that you're doing everything that is expected of you or at the right time, at the right place. And believe me, there is a very good chance that you'll crack at with a fantastic percentile. That's it from my side. I'll take a leave. Sure.